Hello, welcome to another Becoming a Modern Man. We are playing Tribal Zoo with the returning Bloodbraid Elf, and we are running up against Grixis control here. This is our opening hand. We have Curd Ape, Loam Lion, 2 Mantis Riders, and a Tribal Flames, and also 2 fetches. So hopefully we won't get stuck on our colours to play Mantis Rider. And we've got 2 1-drops, so this all looks pretty good for us. Looks like we're on a draw here. Draw into Bloodbraid Elf, which might be good later in the game, but we certainly need to draw into some lands. Going to search up a Stomping Ground and play out our Curd Ape here as a 2-3. Looking to follow up next turn with the Loam Lion. Passes with 2 mana up. We draw into Wild Nakal, which is pretty good, because we can play that along with the Loam Lion this turn. One takes 2. And a Hallowed Fountain. Casts on a Cottle and a Loam Lion. Our opponent terminates the Curd Ape in response. It's kind of odd. Clearly better off killing the 3-3. Or you would have thought so anyway. But play Serum Visions. We get attack for 5 here. Open that to 10. Release Fatal Push post combat. It's kind of strange to post combat it when you could have saved himself the damage. We could also have used Boros Charm there and made our creatures indestructible just to save them the Cottle. But I didn't really think it was worth it. But it's down to 10 at this point, and between Tribal Flames and Boros Charm and our other creatures, I think we're in pretty good shape just to burn our opponent out. We draw to Lightning Helix, which certainly helps with the burn plan. Getting a hit with the Loam Lion, just past the turn here, see what our opponent got. Plays Collhan's Command, making us discard a card and dealing 2 damage to us, which is fine. We discard Mantis Rider, just because Bloodbraid Elf is probably going to be that much more impactful if we do get to cast it. And we obviously already have another Mantis Rider in hand. Plays Creeping Tar Pit, Damnations, which is fine. Again, we could have Boros Charm to save our guy, but I feel like the 4 damage is better here at this point. Actually, with our opponent on 7, the 4 damage is going to be lethal because we can just cast Boros Charm and then Lightning Helix, which I think is what we're going to do here. So yeah, Lightning Helix our opponent, and then on our turn we can actually Tribal Flames there, which is also worth 4 damage. So yeah, we have plenty of burn to finish off our opponent, and that wraps that up fairly swiftly. Yeah, not too much of a problem there, finishing off our opponent. So let's go to the sideboard. Okay, so here we are with the sideboard. So we are playing against Grixis control. I think there's not a ton of exciting things we can do on our sideboard. I don't really like Thoughtseize against them. I don't think it's necessary. We probably just want to beat them down as fast as possible, realistically. I quite like Lingering Souls though, as obviously we know he's got board wipes and he's probably got a lot of targeted removal in his deck. So I quite like bringing in the Lingering Souls as a way of creating multiple targets and making it a lot more difficult for targeted removal and even mass removal to sort of really blow us out. So I think bringing the Lingering Souls probably over the Mantis Riders, just because they're a little bit more difficult to cast, and obviously it just dies to Lightning Bolt, which is kind of a problem. Is probably the way I want to go. I think that's the only changes I would made. Could bring in Grim Lavamancer, I suppose, but I don't think it's all that exciting. So yeah, the main changes I think is to bring in the Lingering Souls and maybe take out the Riders in replacement. I think that's what I went for on this occasion. I didn't see any need to make any further changes really. So that's what we went for. Okay, so we're back with game 2 against Grixis Control. We have a pretty good hand. We've got Wild Nicottle, Lone Lion, Lingering Souls, Bloodbraid Elf, and a Lightning Helix. So we can search up a Temple Garden. We can catch these 2 1-drops over the first 2 turns. And then hopefully we'll draw into another land, and then we can start using Lingering Souls, etc. Otherwise we'll probably just be burning stuff. So yeah, drawn into our 3rd land, which is useful. Going to search up a Temple Garden here. And just play the Nicottle. So that'll represent 3 damage next turn. Opponent doesn't do anything. Crack a Wooded Foothills here, get a Stomping Ground. Attack for 3. I'm quite cautious in my collecting of jewels. I guess we could have got a different colour, but I don't like to screw ourselves on mana. I mean, we could have got a Steam Vents there just to make sure we got the blue, but as I say, I don't really like to risk getting screwed on mana. If I can avoid it, our opponent has Terminate for our Nicottle, which is fine. And we're just going to play the Lone Line here. We've also got a Black Source for Lingering Souls Flashback, which is nice as well. Opponent plays a land and passes. Can attack for 2 here. We've drawn to Lightning Bolt, which is nice. Opponent has a Lightning Bolt for our Lone Lion. And we're just got a Lingering Souls here. Unfortunately, I think our opponent has some sort of counter spell for it. Yeah, so he's got the mana link for the Lingering Souls. So we don't have anything on board at the moment. But plays follows up with a Search for Azcanta. I'm going to play my 4th land here and Cascade into Bloodbraid Elf. So yeah, I think our opponent, obviously it would have been better if he had Jace there, but even with Jace there's a good chance we might have been able to get him here because we Bloodbraid and we hit Tribal Flames, which is going to hit for the full 5 points of damage, but our opponent actually has the mana leak and chooses to target the Tribal Flames to prevent that damage. So we're just going to get into the 3 here. Opponent flips Search for Azcanta, which obviously does represent a bit of a threat to us, potentially. But I feel pretty good about our position, particularly if we're going to get in for 3 here. So opponent's going to Search, I think. I thought about burning him in response to this, because obviously if he draws into some sort of counter magic or something that he can use to counter our spells, then that can be a problem. So we could have used the instant burn there, but I kind of figured maybe we just see what he gets. And yeah, it turns out he gets Counter Squall, which kind of makes me feel like we should have maybe used some of this burn. But we've got so much burn at this point, I think we're in good shape, and if we can play in such a way as we can make sure that this Tribal Flames resolves, I think we'll be in pretty good shape. Also, we can play Lone Line here, which gets around the Counter Squall and gives him an additional problem. He doesn't have the mana for Damnation. It terminates our Bloodbraid Elf and then kills off. Kills our Bloodbraid Elf with Terminate, and end of turn we use our Lightning Bolt to put his opponent down to 6. He doesn't have Counter Squall mana now, so we are aware that he has 1 dead card in hand and 1 mystery card in hand, which puts us in pretty good stead. So yeah, our opponent's on 6 here. We're just going to be able to attack if the replay wants to work. It seems to be playing ball. Just a second. Okay, sorry, so yeah, our opponent just conceded there, so that's why there was no further record on the replay, but yeah, our opponent conceded, and he was pretty damn dead. So yeah, we would attack for 2, put him down to 4, and then between Lightning Helix and Tribal Flames, I think we would have got the job done. So yeah, that wraps up the match against Grixis Control. All went pretty well. I do like this deck against control decks, which seem to be sort of becoming more popular, particularly with Jace coming back into the format. People are definitely testing out a lot of control decks. Yeah, this works pretty well. We got a lot of early pressure, and then Bloodbraid Elf works really well as a sort of top end threat, which is fairly resilient to counter magic as well. But yeah, I like bringing in Lingering Souls as well. We didn't actually have to flash this back at any point, but it obviously gave us a threat after he countered that we could reuse. So all worked out pretty well, and as I say, I think our deck is pretty well suited to running up against control decks like this one.